Zach Brown, this is like an annual tradition. You've been coming here, you said, since 1989. I grew up here, but the reunion itself, 10, 15 years, seems like you and I are here every August like clockwork,
Always.
bringing some great cars. You've contributed some amazing cars, 75th anniversary of F1. Yeah. I figure, why don't we do another one of our walk and talks, looking at the amazing history of F1, talk about things in your world, McLaren, IndyCar, Formula, like, let's do our normal routine.
100%.
Tell me
we're
about,
starting with the best here, right?
Come on.
This is our Constructors Championship car. See, in this particular chassis, Lando won Singapore, Holland, I've got that in the wrong order, and of course Abu Dhabi, the clincher from all 3 races from pole. So pretty awesome racing car.
See, not a show car, not something you had to dust off, but the real deal.
No, we only do real deal stuff.
Okay, well, we have a bunch of other amazing F1 cars, so why don't we wander over here, take a look. This we would have to assume is a show car.
Yeah, except it's got a chassis number, but you know, it looks pretty mint. So this is 2025 car.
Yeah.
And therefore that is not a driver's championship car, and I hope it's not a driver's championship car.
You're a little partisan here. I love that.
This thing's pretty awesome.
Isn't it?
The Merc. Yeah, I'm a huge Lewis fan, George fan, so that's a cool race car.
It's amazing that this is 2019, so in theory, F1 development is so fast that you think this was
ugly nose period.
Yes, but you'd think it was so old that, boy, it'd be outdated, but it still looks very, very new.
Look at the
relevant.
barge boards. You know, they cleaned up the barge boards in 24 and 25 because this was all just getting
crazy,
out of control, which the last time it was out of control like that was 2007, 2008.
Yes.
Where you just had aero everywhere.
Pure
this thing
aero.
was dominant.
The Brawn, yeah. Let's step over here. This thing is so beautiful, isn't it, Zach?
Jensen wiped the floor with this thing. And what an underdog story this was, right? This was Honda. They pull out of the sport.
Yep.
I think they sell it to Ross for $1.
Pennies, yeah.
And they put the Mercedes in the back of it. Ross Brosnan does what he does best, which is comes up with something others took a while to figure out, and they cleaned the clock of everyone, didn't they?
Double diffuser, triple, quadruple. Another thing I love, you with your marketing background, Zach, can appreciate livery. I love the fact that white with black striping, but the day glow is what makes it pop. So many people remember this because of the day glow floor, like just enough. Just enough.
The wheels were cool.
So beautifully done.
Which we've done, obviously, the Google wheels on our car, but everyone else kind of leaves their wheels alone.
You do that on the Indy cars as well. You'll sometimes, I love that. This, one of the great looking cars.
Yeah, not so fast.
Also, yes, a somewhat pile of trash.
Yeah.
The Porsche engine V12 weighed 1,000,000 pounds.
This would have been, what, Alboreto?
Yeah, Caffey. So Patrick Long bought this.
Did he? Okay.
Was hoping to get a Porsche in it. That didn't quite happen.
Yeah.
Those motors had a center drive instead of traditional. Anyways, they tried a bunch of stuff.
I bet those engines are hard to come by.
Yes, indeed. But you look at how narrow the chassis is.
Yeah.
My shoulders would never fit. But the beautiful nose treatment on the car, just love.
Cool car. I always like this car.
Looks amazing, but proof again that
this was the closest I got to F1 was I met with Jackie Oliver.
Really?
And Motoring News wrote up. Jackie said he was talking to 3 drivers, Barrichello, Blundell, and me, and I was italicized, and I never quite understood, but I'm thinking it meant like, is this a mistake? I don't know why I was italicized. No one else was italicized, so it meant something.
Phenomenal. So if we're talking pure beauty, this 89 moving from turbos in 88, which is actually undercover. I think you and I are going to have to take the cover off the MP4 for it, but looking here, this beautiful John Barnard design car, the 89 Ferrari 1990, the airbox. Remember, originally the roll hoop was exposed and they had the NACA ducts, but
nothing cooler, man. Look at the cockpit, the chassis side. It looks like it's just planks and carbon fiber.
Another big development with this car that brought something new, torsion bars up front, which has been standard. But before it was big dampers and springs, but tiny. And
then semi-automatic gearbox.
Yes,
was
the very first ever.
Yeah.
Barnard's GTO concern in the UK, and that was a whole big deal. What the British people are doing Ferrari stuff. They did wonderful stuff.
Why is the best Formula One car in the history of Formula One cars?
We got to take the cover off. You know the owner, right?
We do.
He's not going to be mad.
We're going to beg for forgiveness.
Yeah. Come on. I assumed this was a McLaren-owned vehicle.
No,
you told me it wasn't.
So this car is
15 wins from 16 races, MP44. It was my favorite car back in the day. I still think it's the greatest F1 car ever designed.
Let's throw it in there. So this particular chassis, Alain Prost won 3 races in. Monaco, and of course Ayrton put it in the barrier. France, and I can't remember what the 3rd race is. I want to say maybe Spain or something. Also had 6 podiums. So I mean, this car is as good as you get.
And I will say this till my dying day. I still have every race from ESPN 1988. I have all 16 on VHS still at home.
Yeah, amazing.
This was my car.
This is what got me into McLaren. I was a Senna fan, and then when Senna moved over from Lotus in 87 to 88, and they were dominant, it's like I was a Senna McLaren guy for the rest of my life.
This
car's cool.
The famed Monza stuck wastegate qualifying car. Who knows, 1,400, 1,500 horsepower, BMW, 4-cylinder turbo.
I don't have a Benetton in my collection. I got to say, I saw this the other day and went, I wonder who owns that car.
Yeah.
Now, what I don't know, he won Mexico, but I don't know if it was in this car.
Don't know. But the Benetton design, the flourishes of color, and they actually did a fun thing that year too, where I think they were some highly used tires, but they actually painted some of the tires sitting on pit lane as like decorative pieces.
Really cool. This looks like this maybe hasn't run in a while.
Yeah, we got a little oxidization going on there, but regardless, this thing is so gorgeous. My friend Steve Romack owns this, the little dart, the teal
Martin
dart.
still can't walk because of this car. I think he had a huge crash, I think it was in Dallas.
Yep.
And then I think he also barrel rolled this in Monaco, if I'm not mistaken. And there's a photo of him on his side and his arms hanging out. But a pretty funky looking car.
Martin's a man of many skills. Also in the engine cover, Phil Riley, who we loved, builder of so many great things. Now, of all the things not in your collection, I'm told this is the Monaco car.
So, funny story. This used to be in my collection. This is now John Stafford's car, and I bought it, and I kind of regret selling it, but my collecting criteria is car had to win in period, and it never won, even though I think a lap later, he would have won.
Yes.
So this is definitely the iconic, and a cool,
Brian Hart, 1.5 liter 4-cylinder turbo. Oh, this thing
Rear
is
wings.
so
Pretty
all
iconic.
the wings. Let's talk about McLaren today, Zach. So you joined 2017.
Yep, first year.
I'd known you beforehand as just Marketing International, Zach.
Yep.
You take on running one of the world's most prestigious Formula One teams in a pretty steep nosedive. And the thing I appreciated is, experience-wise, other than your own junior Formula racing, you'd never run a big racing team. But you knew one thing, through JMI in particular, was people.
100%.
And I'm not trying to be a total homer here, but when we look at where you are today,
it's all the people.
it's not because of some crazy space technology you found. It's people and working
the culture and the
teamwork.
teamwork.
Talk about that, brother.
Yeah, I mean,
it's amazing.
It's the energy that has been put together by the team, the collaboration and the passion, and we're working hard and we're challenging each other. But we're worried about that day when we're not winning because it's sport.
Yeah.
And that kind of gets us up every day, pushing like mad because we want to postpone the inevitable, which is the day that we're not on pole and winning races. And then hopefully when that day comes, not if, the reality is when, right? This is sport, is that first becomes second, not 10.
Yeah.
And it's only second for a little bit. But, you know, the competition is, and as I tell everyone, the worst team in Formula One is a great racing team.
Yeah.
So the competition's immense.
So this is carrying over to what we're seeing here in the U.S. in the IndyCar series. That was a team that had really good bones and had success in spurts, but was never really one where you said, you got to watch out every weekend. Schmidt-Peterson Motorsports is going to be on the boil. It's taken a little while.
But we're getting
There's this old Brazilian guy, kind of a pity hire, I think we could agree. Kidding
no
aside.
one else wanted him. I thought I'd take him.
Tony Kanaan, though. But you've been doing a similar thing there. Not big changes, but people moving and adjusting. Now, you did this thing this year, Zach. Team Penske had been #1 among all the Chevy-powered teams basically for almost ever. You leapt past them, and not briefly, but you have stayed welded there.
Team's doing a great job.
Second best team in IndyCar behind Ganassi, but this is a huge year-to-year leap. Tell me about that side too, because you can't miss the parallels between F1 and IndyCar.
Same thing. It's people, camaraderie. You know, the bones were there, but you know, in between Tony and Kevin Timian, and then we brought in Scott Harner, we brought in Kyle Moyer. You know, and those were all additive to what we felt was already a great team, which is why we wanted to acquire that team. But then to build it out, give it some confidence. We're moving into the new shop. We finally got the keys.
Yes.
So I'm very excited about that. So I feel like we're kind of getting our act together. Pato's a strong second in the championship. Christian's knocking on the door of Dixie.
That kid right there's got something.
Yeah, I think we made the right decision there. So if we can finish the season second and third, second and fourth, won a couple races. I'd love to see Christian get a win here the last couple races. He's been amazing, and I feel really confident with the direction of the team, and I do think there's parallels. People.
Last thing or two. So looking at some more future for McLaren, I ran out of how many times you said it's not a question of if, but when.
Yeah, it took a while.
Getting back to Le Mans. But that's coming. You just had this crazy announcement where you're auctioning one of the cars off. It doesn't even exist yet.
Yeah.
But that sports car side, IndyCar, McLaren's an IndyCar because of your passion. That's paying off. Sports cars, huge company history, but you've been pushing there as well. There's a lot of world championship material going on here since you came in.
I couldn't be happier with where McLaren is now. You know, one of the things, there's a lot of things I loved about McLaren, but one of them was also that being a bunch of racers, we like to race different things, right? It was Can-Am and Formula One and Le Mans, and just a great history. And so to get back to what I consider to be the three biggest, most iconic races in the world, with all due respect to Daytona 500, Pomona Nationals, or World Rally, but that's where our history is. So to be competing for the Triple Crown, being the only team who's ever won the Triple Crown in 3 different decades, I'd love to do it in the same decade. If I was getting really greedy, I'd love to do it all in the same year, but one step at a time.
At least you're not greedy.
At least I'm not greedy.
All right, let's close on this. Things are going super well in Formula One.
We can't miss these last couple cars.
I heard some guy might own one of the last ones.
Yeah,
so,
that's what.
Right.
That one's not mine, but I got one that looks just like it. But
this is this Duncan's? Duncan Day?
This must be Duncan's,
Yes.
because mine. So they ran. I've got his first car, which he won Zolder from Pole.
Yeah.
And not only does it look a little bit different bodywork wise, John Player's Special was on the side pod, and Olympus was up here, and then they reversed. And this was, Mario's my hero.
Come on.
Mario's everyone's hero. And isn't this the Formula One car that we all had as a kid up on the wall?
All right, let's close on this, and we talk all day as we normally do. So you're here driving a lot of things. These things you've driven for a long time. Oh, but not your Cale Yarborough IROC Camaro. Cool. I haven't seen you like a 10-year-old kid as giddy as you've been yesterday, the first session there. We were texting like, these should be at Long Beach. These should be like, there's something here, right?
Totally. I mean, look at the drivers they got out. I looked at the list and was like, man, I got to race against like Jeff Gordon and Scott Pruett and Jensen Button, Kyle, but like, this isn't fair. But I did all right yesterday. I was 9 of 24 cars, and I'm in one of the older ones, so I already kind of had that built in as a bit of lap time excuse. But
and there's big Penske history with IROC. Roger Penske Jr.'s driving.
I think we got to get him to Long Beach, or I'd love to see him at the road race,
Indy GP.
In Indy GP, because you got the whole Penske history of it. Because Ray was saying, we're going to do a race at 10 tenths. We'll be back here at Laguna. He wants something in the Midwest in the middle of the year, and it's like, Indiana's in the Midwest, and that's the middle of the year, and I think it would be super cool.
All right, so we're going to have you as race promoter as well, but I'm with you. It's such a magical weekend. I'm so glad that truly every year, no matter what you have going on in the world, everyone knows you're carving this out for yourself. It's just passion and love for this sport. Forget balanced performance and race control. None of that, just pure passion. 75 years of F1. Zach, thank you, brother. Appreciate you.